monkey. Oh, you're such a fluffy puppy. So welcome back to the farm. I'm Ben with MD Triple Creek. I want to talk about some training collars. So first, we got this chain pinch collar or choke collar. I think it's crap. I think it's a horrible tool. I don't like it at all for training. I don't like it all for any purpose in life. Its premise is it makes this loop. You loop that around the dog, you hook your collar to it, and the more the dog pulls, the more it cinches down and chokes them. I don't like it at all. I think it's trash. I don't think it's worth your time. Don't buy it. It doesn't look horrible. It doesn't look bad. In fact, it looks so much nicer than the pinch collar with all these nice little spikes. Looks like something like a medieval torture device. This is what we're going to talk about today. This I like. This, garbage. Just, I don't even know why we own one of those. Let's go ahead and talk about this medieval torture device. What it's really good for is teaching your puppy or young dog or old dog to heel without pulling on the leash. One of my pet peeves is going to dog parks or going in town and seeing dogs that just pull on the leash, and it's all the owner can do to keep the dog under control. We've gotten to this point in society where dog harnesses are the newest thing because it puts all the pressure right here on the chest and off the neck. What I have noticed in most dogs, some dogs' harnesses are perfect and work well. So use whatever works well for your dog. But most dogs that I've seen in harnesses, all it does is it teaches and reinforces that bad habit of pulling on the leash. And if you have a 5-10 pound dog, it's probably not a big deal other than it's a sign of disrespect in my opinion. But what do I know? I'm just a guy on YouTube, you know. So take it for what it's worth. I think it's a horrible sign of disrespect when a dog is pulling on the leash. And how you correct it is the pinch collar. And you can put this on your wrist so you can feel against bare skin. The weight of it itself does not hurt. It's not a big deal. How it works is it's a self-correcting tool. So you put it on your dog by pinching the tip, these little points together. So you pinch that and it slides in. I don't know if you can see this or not, but it does. It's not always the easiest thing to get on and off your dog, especially a new one. So do this a couple of times before you put it on your dog. Otherwise, you might put it on your dog and find you can't get it off and you're taking bolt cutters to it. Because this is a training tool. You do not, absolutely do not let your dog sleep in this. This is not something you're putting on your dog and then leaving on the dog for the next week or two. It's a training tool. Put it on, go for your walk, train your dog, take it off when you get home. So what it does is as the dog pulls on the chain, let's see if I can hold this in a way where it makes sense. So if my leash is here, the more the dog pulls or the more I pull, the tighter it gets. But then it'll eventually max out. So the more pressure they put on it, the more pain they feel. I know there's a lot of people out there that are gonna thumbs down this video and do a lot of negative comments. I don't care. Send me all the hate you want. I don't care. I have respectful dogs. I have dogs that listen to me. That's what I want. And I want you to be able to have respectful dogs that listen to you and actually behave. Come here, Stella. So Stella is a standard poodle. We got her just a little bit ago. She's, what are you, about 4 months old now, 5 months old? If you've seen the other videos, we were calling her Maisie for a little bit. In my opinion, you have about a week when you bring a puppy home to truly decide on the name. The twin girls, they're a little over 2 years old. They couldn't say Maisie at all. I mean, it was really hard for them. So we started kind of coming up with other names that the girls could say, and they can say Stella just fine. So Stella is now her registered real name. So Stella here is a standard poodle, female. We got her a couple of months back. She's about 4 or 5 months old now. I haven't really worked with her as much as I'd like to because, you know, we have twins that are toddlers, so it's hard. I have never put her on a pinch collar before. We've taken her on lots of walks to the pond and back. The pond's round trip, it's about 1.5 mile walk the way we go, a little under that. But she has been pulling on the leash a lot these last couple times. So I think it's time for her to learn what a pinch collar is. Hey, Don't try to eat my pinch collar. She's never been on a pinch collar before, so this could be really bad. I don't know. We'll see how this first time goes. I'm going to take my leash and attach it to this ring that's on the outside. All right, Stella, what do you think? So as you can see, just being on her is not causing her any distress. It's not causing her any pain. It's not causing her any discomfort. It's not nearly as horrible of an experience for the dog as it looks when you're in the store looking at these things. But what's great about it is it's great for teaching the dog to heel right by your side or just stop pulling on the leash. Depending on what you're wanting to do, I like my dogs when we go for a walk to be right here at my side and not pulling on the leash, obviously. But to teach her to do this, what I'll do is, Stella, come. I'm going to hold the leash pretty close to here and here, basically about as low as I can hold it. So I'm putting her on a very short leash. I'm just going to say, heel, come. Heel, heel, heel. Heel. Stella, heel. 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 Good girl, heel. Good girl, Stella. Good girl, heel. Good heel. Heel. Ah. Hey. Heel. Oh, we got just a little yelp there. So, again, it's a lot of self-correcting, but if she is really bad and doing something that I really don't want her to do, I could give it just a light little tug, just that nice little jerk. Not hard, not wrenching, putting my whole body weight behind it, but just a little bit of a heel. Come on. Just enough to get her attention and get her to come. You want to use the least amount of force possible to gain compliance. Because you need compliance. You need the dogs, you need the kids, the horses to do what you're wanting them to do. But you want to use the least amount of force possible to get that compliance. Now, if we walk to a dog park and we get to the dog park and she's going to go off leash, guess what? You have to take the collar off. This is not a, we're going to let you run around in the backyard type thing, because if she gets this hung up on something, it could choke her or kill her. So, I mean, she could easily hang herself on this collar or cause excruciating pain if she gets hung up on something. So this is a tool to teach her to respect a leash, respect you as the dog owner, and hopefully to teach your dog to heel and walk by your side. And this was the first time she's ever done this. So the fact we had one small yelp, I'm not concerned about that. That's pretty good. So she didn't freak out. Again, she's not a 2-month-old puppy. She's been on a leash before, but she's at that point where she wants to pull on the leash. Come here, Stella. Heel. Sit. Good sit. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Stella. So, just like raising any animal or human, your first go-to is a lot of praise, a lot of reinforcement, positive reinforcement when they do good. You don't want to have the negative reinforcement to be your go-to tool. So, as you're training your dogs, just keep that in mind of you need to get them to listen to you and behave, and treats work well. But raising kids, are you going to give your toddler a Oreo cookie every time they do something good? Of course you're not, because then you're going to have kids that, eat nothing but Oreo cookies. Ideally, you're going to have kids that are well enough behaved that they're going to get Oreo cookies all the time. So Stella does get dog treats from time to time, but our primary go-to is a lot of ear rubs, a lot of belly scratching, a lot of good girl, you're such a good girl. So when she's doing good, she gets a lot of positive reinforcement. But when she does misbehave, she's getting old enough now that she's going to start getting that negative reinforcement too of, no, that's inappropriate behavior, and I'm going to start tugging on this just a little bit, just enough pressure to get her to do what I want her to do. But yeah, it is a self-correcting tool. The more pressure she puts on it, the more pain she gets in, and the more easier it is for me just to, let her figure it out. Now, if she starts pulling too much and puts too much pressure on it, I might take a step forward to take that pressure off if I feel it's too much. But Stella, come. Good girl. So things like that, you know, have her sit. Good girl. Good sit. Good sit. Lots of positive reinforcement. Stay. Come. And if she didn't come to me, I could have just given her just a little bit of pressure, just enough pressure to get the result I wanted. Sit. Good girl. Good sit. Good sit. Sit. Stella, sit. And if you're having issues teaching your dog to sit, how you can do that is kind of raise their nose up and slight pressure on their hips to push them down and get them in that position you want them in. Nope, sit. Sit. So when they're puppies and you're giving them a command and you want their body to go into a certain position, that's how you teach them to get into that position. You tell them to sit. You're going to physically have to manipulate their body when they're really little to get them to sit correctly. And as she gets older, the more I do that, the less correcting I have to do. And I'm not being angry with her. Oh, sit. Stay. Good girl. I'm not getting angry with her or frustrated with her. If you do get frustrated with your dog or you do get angry with your dog, that is the perfect time to find something to end the training on with a win. Make them do something simple that you are pretty positive that they're going to be able to do, and then call it done. I mean, as a puppy, at this age, you can only train her for about maybe 10 minutes at a time, much more than that, and you know, her attention span kind of starts going away. So it's little bits of training sessions. You know, do a little bit in the morning, maybe just make her sit, stay at the door or something. And then in the evening, maybe do just 5 to 15 minutes in the evening of sit, stay, come, lay down, just your basic commands. That's all you're doing at this age. And it's a lot of play training, a lot of throwing toys to teach her to come. If she's not coming back to you, if you're getting into that point of we're now playing chase, get a longer leash, get a 25-foot rope and pull her back to you. So yeah, I'm Ben and this is Stella, formerly known as Maisie, with MD Triple Creek Ranch. So if you like this, if you found it helpful, click like and subscribe. All that helps this channel. Have a good one. You want your collar off? We can take your collar off. You did really good. Yeah, you did. For your first time, that was really good. Yeah, okay. Oop, we're kind of tangled in your real collar. And in your fur a little bit. Okay, be a nutty puppy. Okay, go be a nutty puppy. Ooh, good girl.